Hey there everybody, how's it going? This is Joe from Pause and Select. So I guess you can call this my response video to Digi's recent video about anime YouTubers. So yeah, this is I'm just gonna be playing this over with just footage of Civ 5. Hope you guys are okay with that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I have a lot of things to say. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to set up a game. It's mainly, I'm going to set up with the Inca, set it at continents. Now I'll keep it at Prince, mainly so I can focus more on talking and less so much about trying to see whether I'm going to have to deal with the AI. So everything here looks all right. You know, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, why are you started on Prince or whatever, but I think it's going to be fine. Now, when we're playing the Inca, there's essentially a few things we have to consider here. The first one is that because they have a hill bias, essentially what you're doing is you're trading off production. You're trading off, food for production. Now, this gets offset later on with the inclusion of a really important, unique improvement of the Inca, which is the terrace farm. Now, how the terrace farm works is that essentially within the first, what happens is the terrace farm increases food production relative to all of the other terrace farms around it. So if it's adjoining to another terrace farm, it increases food production for those terrace farms. And if it's beside a hill, then that increases from there. Now, there are two specific things about the Inca that I think are really important. In addition to the terrace farm, the second one that we always have to consider are roads. Now, so why are roads important for the Inca? Well, the roads for the Inca are actually very useful defensive features because you can very significantly wall off the opponent using roads. Now, what I mean by that is that the Inca essentially only pay about 50% of road maintenance. They only pay about 50% of road maintenance on flat tiles, and then for hill tiles, they don't pay any maintenance for roads, which is really significant. Because what we're going to do is we're essentially going to try and road wall the Incas. And so in this situation, it's really important because this is one of the few instances where automating your workers is actually not a recommended decision, because workers oftentimes they always often go for farms. So we got a good fair start here for tiles. I'm not seeing any mountains around, but there seems to be, there's a lot of good salt here. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good start. So let's get working on that. We're going to go for tradition, and the reason why I'm going to go for a full tradition run is mainly because we're not really going to have more than 3, but I think it is important to essentially rush towards landed elite. Now I'm going to take a quick stop at aristocracy because the Inca are really good at sort of pushing out early wonders, but you have to be very particular with your wonders. It's not like Egypt where you have a really good selection of wonders. You have to sort of play according to what you think your opponents are going to get. So we're going to go with mining. Just going to end that turn there. And let's put him onto explore. Okay, let's move him there. Let's let that run. Okay, that's good. That's a good. Okay, there's a barbarian camp there. I should probably get rid of that before that becomes an issue. Now, faith is not particularly important, but it can be later on. So I'm gonna go with faith. I'm gonna go with tundra tiles without force. I'm gonna go with Dance of the Aurora. That'll give me some faith. I too. Oh my God, there's a lot of them there. Well, thankfully, we've been saving up some of our money, so that's good. Let's explore. I need to see where that camp is, because I'm not entirely sure where the barbarian from the... Oh, okay, there we go. That's where they're coming from. That makes a lot more sense. Rotterdam hasn't taken any hills. We want to sort of settle around there, because that'll give us another faith boost. Now, in this situation, generally, I would recommend that we essentially just start really basic. Just start off on a granary so we can start making some food here. So I did make a mistake here, which is that I really should have knocked out the archer, made my scout move and take the camp. That way it would have stopped generating units. But you know, it's just one of those things. I'm gonna blame Digi for that. This is a little bit of a problem here. One of the AIs have already found their civs, even though I have a good amount of religion. Now, we don't really have a lot to really be building at this moment, so we're just gonna I'm gonna move on to the granary, and then after that, I'm gonna start building a few military units to sort of scout and see if that encampment is still there. So let's found the religion. No, let's go Confucianism. Punk, bitch, motherfucker, RC, and oh, that's okay. Punk, bitch, RC, anime. There we go. So what we want to do here, the next field we want to go in is we want to go in commerce. Now, commerce is actually really important, and it's really interesting for the Inca because of this particular one. Now, wagon trains is really useful for us because what wagon trains is going to do is it's going to essentially make all of our roads free, no matter the terrain, because the Inca already have terrain costs, they already have road costs cut for terrain by about 100% for hills and 50% for all the other terrain that they've got. This is really important because what it's going to do now is it's essentially going to make roads free, and what we can do is we can wall our city with roads. Now what that does, therefore, is that if the opponent ends up taking your city because it's walled with roads, they're going to pay the maintenance costs on all of the roads within the tile of that city. So what it does is once they take one city, the opponent is going to have to deal with an additional major cost with having to deal with all of the roads that are in that city. And that's actually really useful for us because that not only allows us to take advantage of the increased road presence to sort of move our units very, very quickly, but it also increases the cost of actually taking an Incan city. Now, the Great Wall is actually a pretty useful wonder for us, so it's actually a pretty good idea to go for the Great Wall because it essentially slows down the opponent's ability to move within your borders, so that offsets the movement that they'll gain from trying to take you with roads. So I really should have probably gone for the Great Wall. Yeah, so as you can see here, there are essentially no maintenance is spent on roads still, which is actually really cool. As you can see, there is absolutely no maintenance spent on roads at all, mainly because of the Incan special ability plus wagon trains. And so what happens is that when the opponent takes the city, they're also going to take all of these roads alongside with it, and they're going to essentially pay an additional gold cost per tile. And yeah, and so that's one of the main things about the Inca that are really interesting. So that's pretty much it. Those are my thoughts on the recent Digibro video. I hope you guys think it's interesting, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.